Hey guys, it's Shaylin, and I'm here today with another writing vlog. So I'm really busy right now. It's like the end of term and the end of my last term of university. So for a little update on writing, the project I've been working on in October and November has been my rewrite of Someone Will Save You. So Someone Will Save You is a novel that, to give the short version of the story, I wrote the first draft of it a couple years ago, but I'm currently rewriting it. I started rewriting it last year, but it's always been my side project. But because I was near the end, I only had the last act to do. I kind of felt like I just wanted to focus on it for a little bit, give it kind of like the time of day, rather than continuing to just work on it on the side, because I would work on it very rarely, and I just wanted to like actually kind of invest in it for a bit. So at the moment, I only have 2 chapters left, and there's not a ton of writing to do. Like, the last 2 chapters are basically the same as they were in the original book, so it's just basically me editing. Oh shit, I might be able to do it today and just finish it today. Okay, well, yeah, my goal is to probably do that today, if not this week, and then that will be that. After I'm done Someone Will Save You, I'll be going back to Honey Vinegar, but I'll talk about that when I actually get to it. Hey guys, so it's a couple days later. I finished my draft of Someone Will Save You, which I think felt not as, like, it didn't really feel like a big accomplishment, I guess, because it's a rewrite. I kind of just finished the draft one day and I was like, that, like, it just kind of felt like, you know, another day at the office. It was kind of lacking in celebration. I did that, I don't know, whatever day it was that I filmed that clip, I finished it that day. Kind of where I feel at the moment with that book is it's really nice just to have that task off my plate, and it's really nice to just have that done and I can focus on other things without feeling like there's this kind of other project I also have to attend to. I definitely know that there are a lot of revisions that I have to make. I'm not planning on doing them immediately. This book is not my main priority, but I do kind of know what I have to do. I feel pretty good about the first act. The second act, I don't feel good about the plot. I think I really derailed a bit structurally in the middle of the book. There's like a midpoint turning beat that I think happens like 5 times. At the moment, the book is sitting at just over 80,000 words. It's like 83,000 words. I would love to get the word count down a little bit because it is YA. So I'm hoping that I can do that by combining some scenes throughout the middle. However, I'm also lacking a lot of description. Another problem I found with this book was that throughout the middle and the end, a lot of scenes were taking place in settings we'd already visited before and visited many times. Every single scene was in a familiar setting. I felt like I was really lacking in setting description. Part of what I want to do is take a lot of scenes that are in familiar locations and just move them somewhere interesting. There are a lot of scenes that could take place just somewhere else. I don't know when I'll go in to do those edits. More probably won't be for a little while. I've got other things to do first, but it is nice to have the draft off my plate. Hey guys, so it's December 7th. It's a Saturday evening. It's about 7:15 right now. I have a final project that's due tomorrow. It is almost done. It literally just needs finishing touches. I will do those either tonight or tomorrow morning. I should just do them now and get them over with, but I'm not going to. So for the past little while, I've been working on that. It is a poetry portfolio, but all of a sudden, all the poems are written. I'm done rewriting Someone Will Save You. I don't have any current short stories on the go, and I realized all of a sudden I have no projects to work on, and you know what? No time like the present, I'm gonna get back to working on Honey Vinegar. You know, it can take a lot of energy to get back into a project after you've taken a long break. I haven't worked on this since August. Partly because it's the end of the year, I started realizing like, hey, I can finish this book. I can make it good. I can query this book. I can publish this book. I can achieve my dreams. Obviously thinking very far ahead at the moment, but have some relatively large changes I would like to make to chapters 6 through 14. Anyways, a couple chapters near the end of that, I really struggled with connecting all the events in like a logical, non-contrived way. I realized that if I went all the way back to chapter 6, which was a chapter that I wasn't that happy with, I felt like I didn't need the events. After writing it, I was like, I could really remove these events and the book wouldn't be disrupted. I realized that if I went earlier and I made something happen earlier in the book, that would then feed all the way through to the end of part 1, and I could align everything with that event. I could then tie everything to that, and it worked beautifully. So I'm going all the way back to chapter 6, and the original version of chapter 6, most of it is getting cut, and the like two scenes, a little scene at the beginning, a little scene at the end that I think are important, that tie together, those are gonna get integrated into the next chapter. So I feel pretty good about the edits. I feel pretty good about my plan. So the first thing that I want to do is rewrite chapter 6. So that's what I'm gonna start with. I'm probably not gonna finish it today. It's my first day back. It's probably gonna take me a while to get back into it. And it is a full chapter. I usually don't write a full chapter in one sitting. It would be extremely awesome if I could finish these edits before the end of the year. It's not likely that I could do that. Hey guys, so I just thought I would film a quick clip to commemorate the fact that I have finished university. So it's December 8th, it's the day after the last clip that I filmed, and I just handed in my last assignment of my degree. It's weird. In a little bit, I'm gonna go hang out with some friends. In my last clip, I talked about working on honey vinegar again. Gave that a go. I only wrote about 500 words. Was the first day back, and I had to do a lot of research. I do have 9 chapters that I need to revise, so my goal would be to be done by the end of January. Hey guys, so it's about 10 in the morning on December the 11th. I'm gonna go to work today at a coffee shop nearby, just because all the work I have to do today is stuff that I don't need to be home for. I don't need to film anything. I don't really need to worry about Wi-Fi. I'm not uploading anything. I am hoping that among that work is some writing. I have been working on honey vinegar, so I've been rewriting that chapter. I've only written about maybe 1,200 words, so I'd like to finish my rewrite of that chapter today. The chapter definitely feels way shorter. Like, something major happens in the plot in the first 1,000 words of the chapter, and it definitely doesn't get as much development as it should. But at the moment, I feel like I'm just kind of laying the groundwork, and this is definitely going to be the kind of scene I'm going to need to come back and flesh out later. But it is nice to just have it all in place. So it's a bit later in the day. It's about 3:30, 3:40 actually right now, and I'm just gonna do some writing. I find that it's been a bit of a habit for me a lot recently, like not just recently but like in the past while, where what I do is I always tell myself I want to write when I'm done everything else. So like once I'm done all my schoolwork, once I'm done all my work, and then by the time I'm actually done all that, it's quite late in the day and I just want a break and I just feel tired and then I don't end up writing. So I do have a couple more things I want to do for work today, but I'm gonna write now as a bit of a break. I've brewed myself up some tea. I didn't end up writing when I went out to the coffee shop today. I would like to work on my chapter of honey vinegar, but I actually have something else I want to work on. I am definitely feeling like I need a bit of a refresh, a bit of a reset, and I don't have any working short story concepts, so I actually think I'm gonna write the beginning of Winter Houses. So I talked about this in my video, I don't know, a couple videos ago, where I talked about reviving old projects and how I'm reviving that book, giving it a big glow up, and the beginning is just really in my head. So I want to try writing the beginning. Before you say, Shaylin, that is so bad, don't do that. This is a very normal part of the process for me. I know a lot of people have the really bad habit of starting new projects while they're mid other project and then abandoning the old project. This is not a problem that I have. It's very normal for me when I get a new idea or I start working on something. At some point in the process, I write the beginning. I have beginnings written for multiple books that I have in the planning stage. That's a really important part of developing the book for me, is that early on in the brainstorming phase, I write the beginning. It helps me figure out what notes I want the voice to have, gives me a bit of direction, and it's usually just something I kind of will work on one day and then not come back to until I'm actually writing the book. Probably going to be a 1-day project, maybe a 2-day project. I'm really excited to play around with that, and I haven't talked about this too much, I don't think. I talked about this in a video that I filmed but I haven't uploaded yet, about how I find I really need to work on side things to like refresh my memory of like how to write, and I'm kind of feeling like I need that right now because I'm at a point with honey vinegar where it's like I haven't worked on it for a while and I feel like I need to get a bit of energy back, a bit of momentum back, and usually writing something kind of short and different helps me with that. So I'm gonna do that today and I'm pretty excited about it. I've been thinking about it all day. It was just really in my head. I was really playing it through. Hey guys, I haven't updated for this vlog in a couple days, but I have been very, very productive. So it is December 17th. It is 4 p.m. at the moment. It's getting a little dark. The sun sets at literally 10 after 4. and I'm really not about it. So at the moment I'm just I'm not currently working. I'm taking a break to film this clip before there's zero daylight. But I'm doing some work right now. I'm just editing videos. The last clip I filmed was actually a week ago. I think I talked about how I was going to work on writing a little beginning of Winter Houses and maybe also working on Honey Vinegar. Oh, my computer's starting to hum. Yeah, it's probably because I've been making it run Final Cut Pro for like 4 hours. Sorry, bud. That day I did work on Winter Houses. I wrote about 1,300 words of a beginning. It flowed out super easily, probably took me less than an hour. I talked about in that clip that was a one-day project. I didn't work on it again after that. Got it out of my system and it was fun. I think I started to explore possible routes that I could take the character voice. I didn't end up working on Honey Vinegar that day because I ended up going out. It was a Tuesday, but a friend of mine was alone at a pub and so we just went because why not? Since then, I have been really working on my revisions for Honey Vinegar and I'm pleased to say that they're done. So the revisions that I thought would take me a month and a half only took me 1 week. I had 9 chapters that I wanted to revise. So the first chapter I was revising was chapter 6, which was the one that needed the most work. It was basically getting completely rewritten. All the events were new. That was difficult, you know, as a place to break back into a project that I hadn't been working on for months. First new scene I had to write is probably one of the most difficult scenes to write in the book. So I struggled a little with that and I still don't feel amazing about that chapter. Other than that, once I moved on to the other 8 chapters, I basically did them all in 2 days. I did 4 chapters on Sunday and 4 chapters last night. Normally when I would edit a chapter, I would do 1 pass of developmental edits and then I would do 1 pass of line edits where I would kind of smooth out all the developmental changes. I didn't do the line edits because I did have a couple chapters in this section, I think 4 chapters, that hadn't been seen by my workshop. They'll probably suggest other developmental changes for me to make, and so I didn't really see the point of doing like a deep line edit when a lot of this is still potentially going to change. It's so funny to me that I finished these edits so fast because I think I even said in a previous clip, and if I didn't say it, I was thinking it in my mind, that I would love to be done these edits by the end of the year, but I was like, wait, Shaylin, be realistic with yourself. There's no way that's going to happen. So for once, set realistic expectations, give yourself a realistic deadline, and give yourself till the end of January, because there's no way that's going to happen. And then I literally did it in like 2 days. This was a great way to really kind of get back into the groove of the character's voice, and I'm really excited to start drafting part 2. I am going to go visit my family for the holidays. I'm leaving in like the evening afternoon tomorrow. Before I go home to Vancouver to see my family, I'm actually going to the cabin, which you guys have seen in past videos. It's not my family's cabin. People always ask, what is this cabin? It belongs to someone that we know, so that's why we go there, but it doesn't belong to my family. We're gonna be there for 3 days, and every time I go there, I write so much. I think it's gonna be really, really nice to be able to go there and kind of have 3 days to just write, especially with a part of the book I'm so excited about, which is getting to draft new content again. I feel like I have a pretty good handle on how part 2 is gonna go. Not all of the connective tissue is there, but I am a discovery writer, so that's the kind of thing that usually clicks for me while I'm writing. But there are a lot of kind of keystone events that I've been envisioning for a really long time that I'm really, really excited to write. just out for a walk right now. After this, I'm probably gonna go in, curl up, and write for a little. I've been reading Ottessa Moshfegh's book Eileen this morning, and it's so good. I've definitely been thinking a lot about my book and the next chapter I have yet to write, so I'm very excited to get home and start working on it, because like a lot of passages have been working through my head as I've been walking. Hey guys, so it's the next day, it's December 20th. I'm currently just reading Eileen by Ottessa Moshfegh. I just have a tiny bit left. Things are getting pretty wild. I had a great day of writing yesterday. I started working on drafting part 2. I think I had good momentum because I'd been working on those edits, and it was one of the best writing days I had in a long time. I have definitely been in what I would call a bit of a writing slump since September. I haven't been writing as much as I typically do. When I have been writing, I found it hard to sustain my writing sessions for very long. I haven't written a ton that I was super excited about, other than one short story in October, which was quite fun. I felt like I was just trudging through things, namely Someone Will Save You. It just felt like a long trudge, and it wasn't that fun. Basically, yesterday I wrote a whole chapter, fairly short chapter, 2,500 words, but still writing 2,500 words in a day is nice. I'm a fan of that. And that was just one sitting. Like, I just sat down and the whole chapter just came out. Been envisioning it really clearly. It's a bit of a different chapter. The structure is a little, like, there are no scenes. It's all narrative summary. It's like, it's almost like a fast forward chapter. Like, it covers a very long period of time. I feel really just like pumped, I guess, to keep working on the book, to write the next chapter. The end of the book is in sight. I still think it'll be probably around 40,000 words to get to the end of the book. My goal is to be done by the end of next year, but I don't think it will take me the whole year. It's been a long time since I had a writing session as great as the one yesterday, and I think I'm going to be able to probably replicate it today because I feel very connected to it, I guess. I have really good momentum right now. I think I am getting out of this writing slump that I've had for the past while, which was kind of a pain. Like, it's not very often that I'm low on motivation. That doesn't happen often. Usually, you know, I don't even need to schedule my writing sessions because I have a lot of inherent motivation, so I'll just write often. In, you know, October, November, when I was working on Someone Will Save You, I wouldn't have picked up the book on any given day to work on it if I hadn't had goals that I'd set. And even then, both months, I left the goals pretty late in the month because my motivation was really low, and it's rare that that happens to me, and it being over an extended period of time of a couple months was kind of concerning. There was also a huge rainstorm yesterday, like one of the biggest rainstorms I think I've ever been in. Like, one of my favorite things in this world is the sound of rain. Like, as soon as it starts raining, I just want to read and write, basically. So that was super nice. Like, I didn't even listen to music for the whole writing session because I just wanted to listen to the rain. I don't have anything else to say. I'm gonna go write a little later today. So I thought I would finish up this video. Oh, there's a twig stuck in my boot. Okay, there we go. We're good. I thought I would do a last update in the woods because we're leaving pretty soon, in like half an hour. It's like 3 p.m. on the 21st. So the sun is probably gonna set in like 2 minutes because there's no daylight. So I thought this would be a good way to close off this vlog because I'm in the woods, which is where my book is set primarily, entirely. I have spent the past 2.5 days that I've been here making a lot of progress with my writing. I wrote an entire chapter on Thursday, which I talked about, and then yesterday on Friday, I wrote another chapter. So it was in total around 6,000 words. That's a great word output for me, and they're also words that I like a lot. The general path of the story until the very end is fairly clear to me. Like, I don't have it written down in an outline, scene by scene or anything. I don't outline, I am a discovery writer, so it's the kind of thing where, like, I know all the puzzle pieces and the general place they go. I will fit them into place as I get there. I think that that's usually the way to make a plot that makes the most sense for me. I'm really bad at laying out plots before I write them. I suspect the book needs at minimum 9 more chapters. I am definitely thinking about efficiency because I don't want my book to be like 120k, which is what it would be if part 2 ends up being as long as part 1. I don't want that to happen. I don't think that needs to happen. So I'm definitely thinking about efficiency. I don't tend to be an overwriter. I do tend to underwrite things, which is why it's especially concerning when my book is getting really long, because then it's like, okay, normally I underwrite, which means this is probably missing things. So that's not a great place for me to be. I'm sure there's still stuff I can cut. There's always stuff you can cut. I bet I can cut 10K of just words without cutting any actual scenes. That's kind of where I'm at with this book right now. I'm feeling really great about it. It's really exciting to have made it this far and also have made it this far really liking the quality. It is probably the most proud I've ever been of anything I've ever made in my life. It's really nice to be this proud of a project this late into a project, because usually this late into a project I'm really concerned with the flaws. I've done a really good job, I think, of tempering my of kind of keeping myself confident based on my writing process, because I can very easily get overwhelmed with all of the problems I'm seeing. And all that's to say is I'm in a really good place with this book right now. It's about 68,000 words right now. I'm expecting around 100K first draft. If it's more than that, I'm gonna be very sad. I don't want it to be more than that, because although I am definitely gonna cut things, I'm probably also gonna need to add things. This would be a 90,000 word manuscript, ideally, but I think it might end up being a bit over that because it is a very long story. It's a bigger story than I was anticipating. I think in my mind I was like, there's one narrator, you know, like it's not like a multi-point of view story, like it shouldn't be that long, right? Like once I wrote a fantasy book that had 6 point of view characters and it was 120K, right? This shouldn't rival that, right? Like it's a single point of view retrospective novel and it's not speculative. I wasn't really thinking about just how big the story was, and I almost didn't realize it till other people commented on it, till my friends in workshops were like, this is a big novel, this is a complicated novel. Even thinking about the next book I want to write and the book I want to write after that, my next 2 books, they're simpler than this one. They're just simpler. They're more streamlined, they're more straightforward. They follow a narrower scope of a story, but the scope of the story is bigger than I was expecting it to be. And because of that, the book is longer than I was really expecting it to be. I'm gonna wrap up this video now. We're headed back soon. I should probably just go finish packing up the last of my stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I'd love to hear what you are currently up to. I'll probably be posting this right at the end of the year or the new year, so happy new year. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have any questions, you can always send me an ask on Tumblr.